had to do something. Because, you know, black people are killing white people every day.
September 2015. Dylan Roof walks into a black church, opens fire, killing 9 innocent people during worship. He was convicted of 33 hate crimes. A rise of white nationalism is being felt just about everywhere, including Arizona. A menorah was turned into a swastika in Scottsdale. Offensive graffiti can be found all over the valley, like this wall in Mesa. There's only one way to understand why white supremacy is making a comeback. So we sat down and talked with the second highest ranking skinhead in America.
I think I hated everybody.
Garrett Dietz broke free from the skinheads just a few years ago. But for decades, he took pleasure in hurting people, terrorizing anyone who didn't look like him.
Would you describe yourself as a racist?
Absolutely. My family wasn't, but I was.
Garrett grew up in a military family, moving from base to base. His parents, he says, were strict, and they grew concerned when he started to act out.
Strict family, right? Extension cords, you're getting whooped. You know what I mean? That's just how it was back in those days. I got whooped a lot.
The whoopings didn't work. At just 10 years old, Garrett was already abusing cocaine.
I was up on the roof of the house, on the very tip of the roof of the house, with holding a teddy bear, screaming for my parents because I was just gone.
And at 14, Garrett's troubles escalated. He began hanging out with gangs.
What led you to even dabble with gangs at the age of 14?
I think I wasn't getting the attention from home that I wanted. Not necessarily saying they weren't giving me attention. It wasn't the attention I wanted.
And by 17, Garrett was fully entrenched into the skinheads.
The drugs and alcohol, it wasn't that. It was I needed something more. I needed that element of excitement, that element of fear.
Garrett terrorized the valley, especially in the late 90s.
Wardens from the Sheriff's Department are looking for 19-year-old Christopher Martin, 28-year-old Robert Keel, and 24-year-old Garrett Dietz. Deputies say all 3 escaped from this minimum security facility late last night.
Where did Garrett make that wrong turn? Would you describe your parents as racist?
No.
Would you describe your parents as having hate in their heart?
Absolutely not.
So where did you find that hate in your heart?
But through being involved in the gang. I hated everybody. Definitely if you're gay, I'm coming after you.
Garrett has spent half his life in lockup, roughly 2 decades in prison for violent crimes. He spent time in the hole for trying to kill another inmate. And at one of the darkest moments of his life, Garrett found the light. His life suddenly and unexpectedly changed from the unlikeliest of people, his cellmate.
When we locked back down that night again, I'm laying in my bed and this dude, he asks me again, "Hey brother, would you like to pray with me?" And I remember jumping off the bed, getting in his face, pulling my hand back, ready to hit him, and I was like, yeah. And I can tell you to this day, I can never explain how that happened, and I started praying with this guy.
Garrett got sober behind bars. He made a promise to himself that he would break free from the skinheads when he was released. And instead of dealing drugs, he's now dealing hope to rooms packed with recovering addicts at 12-step meetings.
When you start getting that sobriety in your life and you start getting those people in your life that are pushing for you to do better, man, it just goes, whoa, like the gates of heaven. There's, ah.
How have you made amends to all of the people you've hurt?
I can't. So in sobriety, we also have a thing called living amends. It's for people that we can't make amends to. I got a lot of living amends, you know what I mean?
Part of Garrett's living amends, sharing that message of hope to gangbangers and addicts behind bars.
What's up, man? How are you? Good, good.
This is video of Garrett heading back into prison, this time speaking to other skinheads about creating a new life.
My life is filled with light. Not darkness, light. I see everybody beautiful. I see the world as beautiful. I want to help everybody I can.
You're clearly reformed, you're out of the gangs, but you are covered in skinhead ink.
Yeah. Surely am.
You have red suspenders tatted to your body.
I do.
You have swastikas all over your body. Why haven't you gotten those tattoos removed?
Because that's part of my testimony. That's my way of being able to let people see that change is possible.
Garrett is now teamed up with an Arizona nonprofit, Gold Canyon Hearts and Home. Their mission is to help guys break away from the gangs and break free from the cycle of drug abuse.
Just the effect it has on the guys to see us coming back, to see Garrett coming back. It's amazing. It gives them that hope. It gives them a belief that there's something better.
You are all touching so many men and women's lives, transitioning from prison back to community, and this is the key to what has been lacking in the past. I lived my life taken from people and hurting people, right? And now I get to see this beautiful life of what can come from helping people. And it's amazing.
Garrett is brutally honest about his past. He owns up to all the hurt and the pain that he's caused. Garrett was such a high-profile gangster. Even former Sheriff Joe Arpaio spoke at his sentencing, facing 20 years to life for attempted murder.
And then the DA says they got this dude that wants to speak against me, and do not, Joe Arpaio walks right into the courtroom. And he got up there and he started speaking. He's talking about how I'm a gang member and I'm a leader of this gang and I'm this and I'm this that and I'm this druggie and I'm all these things. And everything that dude said was the truth.
When Garrett speaks, his message is having an impact.
It's totally different from the person I first met to today. Like, he's welcoming today. He's got a smile on his face today, and no matter what he was before, that's not who he is today. And people can change, and Garrett has, in so many ways.
Skinheads don't talk on camera.
Nah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but not only do skinheads not talk publicly about what they've done in gangs, but most skinheads don't break free and live. How did you survive after you broke?
God. That's the only answer I have for it, is God.
Do you not fear that they'll come after you?
Nah, I mean, that could happen. That could easily happen. But I'm going to continue to live my life every day trying to help out any and every individual I can, white, black, brown, whatever color you are, whatever, if you're gay or if you're lesbian or whatever you are, that doesn't matter to me anymore. What matters to me in general is like being able to make this world a better freaking place.